Are you staying away from some fruits?
I'm not a big, here's
So
the
that wasn't
problem,
a
I'm
problem
not a
for
big
you.
fruit eater.
So that wasn't a problem to-
Right, but from what I've read, carbohydrates in natural form are fine. It's the more processed ones.
Sure.
Sugar is a big one. Oh, I want to get back to dairy for a second. So I love my cheese, and I didn't think I could do without my cheese. So she gave me some tips on that. Don't do the pre-shredded cheese because that's got a lot of process. So anything that's got a lot of processing, flip stuff over, read the label. If you
Sure.
can't pronounce it, don't eat it. I mean, that's
Right.
kind of a good rule. The other thing is, like say taco chips, you can find organic
Tortillas?
what am I trying to say? Taco chips that have 3 ingredients. It's got the corn, it's got the oil that it's cooked in, and it's got salt. That's fine.
Sure.
You find other bags.
It goes on and on and on.
And for instance, we do a lot of shopping now in the organic aisle or the health aisle, right?
Gotcha.
And they have gluten-free everything. You turn that over and it's filled with rice flour or this, right? I can't eat that either. So you have to start to educate. It takes a little time to educate yourself and to start reading labels.
I think you made a good point. Don't try to toss everything out at first. Try, do this kind of like a scientist, go in and experiment.
I'm just curious, you haven't mentioned anything about meats or fats.
Okay, so I had been on a diet for like forever because, and do a lot of low fat, no fat. That actually is kind of harmful for you. And the first thing she said to me is you need to add good fats back in. So cook with avocado oil, flaxseed oil, coconut oil. Add the good fats in. The meat, organic is best. Nitrate free, if you want to do like sandwich meat or whatever, look for anything that's nitrate free. We buy nitrate free bacon and sandwich meat. It's a little harder to find, but you can do it.
So you mean your diet prior to this specific diet, you were cutting
I was trying to do a low fat, no fat type diet prior to this.
Right.
And what I've learned is that's a little more harmful because of what they replace the natural fats with is chemicals. So anything I can eat that is chemical free is the best.
So if you had a steak with some fat in it, it's all organic, nitrate free, that would be...
And it doesn't even have to be organic steak, but yes. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You can have your natural fats.
Yeah, fats are not the culprit. I think
Right.
I think most diets are discovering that now. Is that they went overboard in that direction, and people were gaining weight, despite the fact.
And
that
actually,
they're
healthy
low fat.
natural fats have a high satiation. So
Exactly.
it helps you feel fuller.
Right.
And if you're doing it right, that's why nuts, almonds, those kind of things are really actually quite good, because it's got the good oils in it. The good
Anything
fats.
else any other group that you were avoiding?
Yeah, sugar.
Sugar.
You have to
Yeah.
really, especially white refined sugar, anything processed, your ho-hos and your that kind of stuff. So when you bake, you now use honey or you use maple syrup.
Oh, sure.
So what I found is I'm very much of a snacker. So I have to now just create some muffins to take along, and I've got some great recipes for coconut flour. So you just learn other things. In all my baking now, I use almond flour or coconut flour, and that's fine. You can use that, and then you use your honey as your sweetener, and clarified butter.
Even the fact, I don't know if you are spreading your meals out, but I mean, if you can keep your insulin levels and talk about rather than eating 3 big meals a day or 2 big meals, eat a lot of little meals. You're keeping your insulin levels stable,
Right.
and then you're not getting that spike, which is obviously can affect your RA, I believe.
Yes,
So-
and then of course, if you're hungry, you're grabbing things
Right,
that aren't
that
necessarily
are not good for you. Right, that's
So sugar's a big one, and I do like my wine, and so wine is not good for me. So I have to cut that back.
Sauvignon Blanc.
But-
has less. No, it does. It has less. It's a lower glycemic level, by the
It's a
way.
white though.
Oh, you don't like white? Yeah, no. There's red ones that are really good too, like a Merlot.
Yeah,
Those are
I do like
yeah,
a Merlot.
The drier wines
Yeah.
are better. I know all this, Brad.
I know.
But I guess the point too is that you don't have to cut everything out.
Right.
And things. And I was reading my notes from my nutritionist the first time I met with her, and she said to cut back grains to half a cup a week or something. Well, I cut them out completely just because when I've tried to add them back in. But some people don't have to cut things out completely. It's all personal.
So it is individual that you can kind of
Absolutely.
put it this broad category, but each person may be a little bit different in there.
Absolutely. I think there's some big overreaching, like the flours and grains are probably, there's some big things. Sugar, processed foods, bad. Let's try to keep those to a very minimum. Take them out, see how you feel. Start adding a few things back in, and then you'll find your trigger foods.